All right, Ken. So on your show, you talk about work and career and purpose. And with that comes all the trending news of remote work. And now the shift from remote work to, hey, guys, we're coming back to the office.
Oh, boy,
And it's
is.
created a big stir, hasn't it?
Oh, man. I mean, you have people that are up in arms about this. There's data out there that says that nearly 60% of people said that they'll quit their job if they have to return to the office.
Wow.
People that are remote workers. I mean, they have really jumped into the whole sweatsuits and Rocky Road ice cream,
It's amazing because just a few years ago, remote work was a rare concept. There wasn't a ton of full-time career remote jobs out there.
Yeah, more and more people were doing it, but we're talking about a small percentage of the American workforce. Then the pandemic hits, and of course, everybody goes home for a while, right? And so you get some people that go, man, this is my jam. And by the way, fine. Until you potentially hurt your professional possibilities and your income.
Yes. So I want to show everyone an example of the kind of stuff we're talking about, the stances people are taking. And, of course, we're going back to TikTok, Ken's favorite social media platform.
Oh, I love to be on the talk.
And so this one's about why are remote workers being forced back in the office. Check out this video.
I still find it very hard to believe that a lot of corporations are forcing their employees to come into the office after working from home for 2 years. It's very obvious that you do not need to sit and look at them all day long. Now, I'm not naive. I know that many of these corporations have these big buildings and major real estate investments. They just simply can't go under. So they need to get the employees back in the building, and they need them to use the building. Otherwise, they'll have to renegotiate these leases, get out of these contracts that they're in, and they probably just don't want to do that. And it may not be financially beneficial for them to do so. So I get that, but it's just always a situation of choosing business over employee well-being. Because if employees want to stay home and they did a great job working remotely when they were forced to, and now they want to stay at home full time, why are you forcing these hybrid models or them to just come back to the office?
Wow. Oh,
there it is.
You go. All right, so this is a common sentiment. This is not an aberration. This is not something out of left field. This lady is expressing what millions of Americans believe. I take issue with the fact that corporations are asking people to come back in a hybrid model. I'll break that down in a second. But corporations aren't asking people to come back because they need to use the building. That is not the issue. Okay, if they don't want to use the building and they wanted to go all remote, they could get out of those leases. They could sell those buildings.
Yeah,
and
we
they
got
could save
an example
a bunch
of this right down the road here from Ramsey is a healthcare company.
Yeah,
that has been empty since
completely
2020.
Empty. So it's not about usage. It's not like a country club and we got a bunch of workout machines that are going to get rusty if people aren't on them. That is not what corporations are doing. What they want is they want more teamwork, collaboration, and a better culture. I mean, I'm reading these headlines every day. And you see these CEOs that are saying we want a return to work to a hybrid model, and it's for reasons of we believe we need that connectivity. And we as human beings are relational. Now, here's the thing. For all these folks that like this lady who are so against it, there are millions of people who are going, I'm lonely, I'm disconnected. It's created depression, a lack of productivity because you're just always in the same environment. There's no boundaries between your home life and your work life. So there's a lot of negatives to this work from home, this idea of flexibility. And then I want to just comment on hybrid. So hybrid is, it's letting people work from home a couple days a week or 3 days a week, in the office 2 or 3 days a week. And this is becoming widely adopted to the point that I think a couple of years from now, I think it will probably be the most common form of work environment that we see is a hybrid model. I just think that's where we're headed. But my goodness, you're willing to not go back to work? You're willing to change jobs, to quit, to start over, to maybe put yourself in a position where you got to scramble, all because you don't want to leave the house? I think you have to be cautious with that. But you do what you do. But I would not make this a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Not when they're offering you the hybrid model.
And to be clear, we are not against people working remotely.
No.
Now, at Ramsey, we all work in the building. And that's something you know when you sign up for this place. This is how we operate.
Right.
But the idea of we were in person, then we went remote, and now we refuse to go back and they're forcing us. I just don't believe in this narrative.
Well, this is a very good point, George. The word forcing. Are they forcing you? There's no armed guard showing up at your house telling you have to go in. They're saying, if you want to work here, we need you in the office. You have free will. This is America. You can say pound sand, I'm out. If that's what you want to do that. Don't gripe and act like the evil corporate man wants me back in the office because he needs to see his cubes filled. This is nonsensical snowflakery. I just made that
That's
up.
a great word. I like that. Yeah, so what it comes down to, Ken, is you're not entitled to anything because you're an employee and you work remote.
You are entitled to your opinion, and you are entitled to your choices.
Ooh.
That's what you're entitled to.
Here's the takeaway.
Outside of that, you're not.
If you want to work remote, go find a job that allows you to work remote.
Fantastic.
Is that it? That's the summary? We solved it?
Yeah.
Wow. They should put us in charge of something, Ken.
But here's the deal.
This is good.
Listen, this has always been a money show. It's always going to be money focused. What I'm cautioning is that you were to take a step backwards professionally and financially, all because you feel you have the right to work in your conditions all the time, and the company has no opinion about it. It's nonsense. So don't hurt yourself over this. Get over it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't see what the big deal is.
Going
really
back to
don't.
the office?
The hybrid model.
Oh.
I can see if you love remote work and you can get full-time remote work, go for it. I'm all for it. Be remote. I can't be away from people that long. I got deep problems.
You love me too much.
I love George. I need to be around George. You know what I'm saying?
Said no one ever.
But what's the problem with a little bit of work in the office for some collaboration, some culture? It's like we're ignoring the fact that we're humans and that we're relational.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure. Work has got a lot more complicated, and you've got to start figuring out, where are my values? What do I want for myself and for my family? Where do we want to live? And the beautiful thing is you get to decide. You have free will. You have agency over your life. You control your destiny. And the moment you think it's in the hands of the employer, the evil, greedy crooks, I got to just back up and say, hey, you have choices. Remember that. Take control.